All right, so what percent of 10 is 6? We need to apply this. Remember this? Is over of equals percent over 100. Okay, where 100 is already a number and is of and percent are either numbers that we've got or is the thing we're looking for. So how do we know what's what? Well, we're going to match it up. We're going to say what number goes with is 6. What number goes with of 10. What number goes with percent? It says what percent means that's what we're looking for. Okay? So we're going to take our is over of equals percent over 100, and we're going to say is, the is number is 6, the of number is 10, the percent we don't know, so we can call that x over 100, and now we're going to cross multiply, set them equal to each other, and solve. So we say 6 times 100, 6 times 100 equals 10 times x. Or 600 equals 10x. So we divide both sides by 10, and we get 60 is the percent. 60% of 10 is 6. Okay. We got 2 more problems on the next slides, and they're maybe a little bit more complicated, but we're going to use the exact same method. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite what we had written, excuse me, is over of equals percent over 100. And then what are we doing? We're going to identify what numbers we know and what numbers we need, okay? Is, what's the is number? Is 264. What is the of number? Of what? So that's what we're looking for. And what is the percentage? 125%. So we say is 264 of what equals percent 125 over 100. That's always the same. And now we're going to cross multiply to solve this. So we've got 264 times 100 equals 125 times x, or 26,400 equals 125x. And now divide both sides by 125. And since I'm not really sure what that math is, I'm going to do it over here on the side. Excuse me, I'll do it in blue. 125. Well, I know 125 times 2 is 250. So I'm going to say, oops, I'm going to say it will go in to 264 2 times. That's 250, leaving us with 114. Now I bring down the 0. How many times does 125 go into 140? It goes in once. $15 left over, and then I put in the 0, and I say how many times does 125 go into 150? It goes in once. It's 125. Got 25 left over, and here's where I'm going to annex a 0. And we're going to put the decimal and then annex a 0, add a 0, and bring it down, because look at this. 125 goes into 250 now exactly 2 times. So that's our number. And we then say x is equal to 211.2. And that's how you do it. Even if the numbers are more complicated, the idea is the same. Now I'm going to do one more slide. Okay. 300% of what number is 742.8? We're going to do the same thing. Is over of equals percent over 100. Okay. What do we know? Our is number, 742.8. Our of number, of what? So that's what we're going to find out. And our percent number, 300. So is 742.8 of x percent 300 100. And now we cross multiply to solve. We say 300 times x equals 742.8 times 100. And we get 300x equals 74280. Okay? And now, of course, if we were to divide both sides by 300, which we need to do, we get what? Well, I'm going to write the problem over here, and I'm going to just show you something you could do. We're doing 74, actually, let me move it over a little bit. 74,280 divided by 300. Okay. Now, it's a fact that we could come up with an equivalent problem that will give us the same answer if we move the decimals on both numbers the same amount of times for division. So if we move this over 2 places to get 3, and we move this over 2 places to get 742.8, we would get an equivalent answer. Okay. I'll do it with 300 though, just because you might not know the trick, so you want to see how to do it with 300. No problem. Excuse me. Okay. So we say 300 doesn't go into 7, doesn't go into 7 before, but it does go into 742. 742 is bigger than 300, so it'll go in. Okay. How many times? It's going to go twice, and twice is 600. So we got 142. Now we bring down the 8. We say how many times does 300 go into this? Well, 300, 600, 900, 1200, 1500. 5 times is too big, so it's 4 times. Oops. That's 1200. We get 228. Bring down the 0. How many times does 300 go into that? Well, 3 times 7 is 21, so 2100 would be 7 times. 2100. And we get 180 left over. I'm going to now annex or add a 0. Bring this next number down, because 300 goes into 1800 exactly 6 times. And that is 1800, and we get 0. Okay, so this then becomes our answer. And we say 247.6. Now, this problem that I wrote here, which sorry was in the way a little bit, if you solve that, it's probably easier for you to divide by 3. Try that, see if you get the same thing. If you do, you'll know that my trick of moving the decimal the same number of places in order to turn this into the smallest whole number it can be, 3, is an equivalent type of problem. Just try it out. Anyway, that's how you do these.